Okay, so, okay, sir.
I have one comment. I'm new in the county.
Okay.
Been here 5 years. I'm considered a foreigner. If you are such good regulators and you keep up on everything, then how come TVA got away and destroyed half the eastern part of the state? Or all these other people, big corporations that the engineers supposedly kept up. No, they didn't know what they was doing either. They turned the water loose and flooded Nashville. How can you stand up there and tell us, you're gonna keep up with them, you're gonna know what's going on? You don't know what's going on, you don't know what's gonna happen.
No,
It affects us, not you.
We're not perfect, and we don't live in a perfect world. I'll say one thing, you're talking about federal agencies.
No, I'm talking about Tennessee. That happened in Tennessee. It didn't happen in Washington, D.C. It happened right here in the state of Tennessee.
Listen, we had Katrina, we've had huge hailstorms. There are acts of nature that it's hard to account for. EPA actually built in to certain aspects of this system to take into account acts of nature. But I have no answer for you. That's for the people. That's for the people to speak. When you go to the ballot box, you've got that power, haven't you?
Sir?
When you go to the ballot box, you have a certain amount of power.
Oh yeah,
I go to every
election. I go to every election.
Okay.
In fact, I've had a few people around here say vote twice.
Okay. All right, ma'am, go ahead and then we'll get you started.
I'm new here, only been here 6 months, so I'm not in tune with all the little nuances that are going on with this quarry. But two things I've noticed. Number one, most of these people, I'm sure, are taxpayers, and it seems to me that what they say is after the fact. And the second thing, which is more important, the stone that comes out of that quarry or the water?
All good questions, but you guys have to answer them as a local community.
I don't trust the EPA. They're screwed up.
Don't trust me. That's fine. I can't answer your question of which is more important, stone or the view off your back porch.
It's obvious the water. It's obvious everybody here is very concerned about that, among the other evidently problems you're talking about.
Well, we're talking about a lot of different things that aren't apropos here, but just generally speaking, we have a national debate about climate change. Some people say yes, some people say no. It looks like to me when you look out in the hot summer and so forth, there's something to it, but I don't see anybody doing anything necessarily about it. I'm sure there's research projects. So which is more important?
Which is more important is the people who live here who have to drink this water.
I agree.
Who have to work with the water.
I agree.
Well, obviously don't like what's going on.
I agree with you fully, but based on what we can do with our limitations and our review procedure, if we find, based on what you people send in to us, no overwhelming issue that would change our decision,
well, maybe
then
you
I
ought to have
can't.
these meetings before you finish with the permit.
You have to have a permit application to
Workshops,
start the
whatever,
process.
to get people informed about what's going on.
One thing I can say unequivocally is water quality standards are designed to protect human health as well as fish and aquatic life.
I will tell you this, that we have every 2 years we do studies, the state of Tennessee does studies in terms of putting streams on our what we call a 303D list, which is a listing of impaired streams. We have exceptional Tennessee waters. These studies go on all the time, and there are public hearings held in each division of the state for water quality standards. There's a great deal. It's hard sometimes to find that information, to access it. But if you're concerned, it's on the internet, on websites. If you look in local papers, you can find it. But they do occur all the time.
Okay, so if Walmart wants to move in, you say okay, and then ask us about it.
If you have zoning, you get that, honestly.
I mean, it just doesn't seem fair that these people are asked to come to a public hearing and the decision's been made.
Well,
why are we here?
That's a good segue, thank you. Let me tell you how this works from here. You all, you're not the first person to say that you feel that this meeting is futile. This meeting has a very specific agenda, and it is to review comments on a specific permit, not whether this community wants this quarry. That's not our business. That's your business. Where we move forward from here, the comment period stays open until July 13th, I think Jesse said. We'll consider written comments received until July 13th, our notes and our recording of your comments tonight. Will compile to the best of our ability state law that applies to those comments. We will publish that. We will mail it to everybody who gave us an email address or a mailing address. We'll put it on our website. You know, that will be our formal response to comments. That's how this process works. It is not fast. After the comment period ends, you know, it'll take us some couple weeks, depending on what else is assigned to us, to get all that put together. That's how the process works.
And let me say this as well. There are appeal processes in our water quality act. If you feel something's wrong, third-party appeal, you can go, you can start the machinery moving. Look, you've got to be strong, you've got to be dedicated. That's the way it is. It's not easy. Yes, sir. One more question.
My understanding is that your office does deal with water quality, water runoff. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
I have dealt with your office once before, at Cookville, all right?
Okay.
And I can honestly tell you, they sent a person over, and I have his name and everything, trying to say, no, that is an excessive amount of water runoff. Every time it rains, I see it, I live it every day. So I understand when you're trying to sit here and tell everybody that, you know, we need to trust you because your agencies work with these others and they're doing such a great job. Sir, no disrespect to you, your office, or anyone associated with you, but like I said, I live it every day. Yes, my yard is washed away. Yes, I have excessive water flow coming out from under different agencies, under TDEC's highway. Yes, sir. I live it every day. I've had people come out, look at it. The guy that came from Cookville said, oh, it's just excessive water runoff. You don't care, you don't worry about it. But since then, like I said, I had to go above and beyond, and I did go, I contacted the state senator, and there's more being done. But again, too, I dealt with your office out of Cookville, and I was not pleased, not even a little bit with it. But you're telling me now that the water runoff and everything you guys are gonna keep a look at. Well, I see every time it rains, you know, how it's taken care of, and that's not very good.
Well,
Hang on.
Yes, I think you're the one that I dealt with once upon a time.
If you have a complaint, we'll investigate it. We'll come out and see how it applies to the Clean Water Act and make a decision based on that. If you'd like to give me some more details about it after the meeting, I'd love to listen to it.
this gentleman is the interim manager of the Cookville Environmental Field Office in the back here. So you could certainly talk with him.
There is,
I appreciate it very much.
and again,
No
not
problem.
knowing the specifics of your complaint, as far as I know, there's nothing TDEC, State Environmental, does about flooding. So if you're talking about excessive runoff, flooding,
It's not excessive runoff. It's coming out from under a state highway that was built, and it's supposed to be controlled, water control and everything.
Is it,
But it's
TDEC?
coming down in behind my residence, and I can guarantee you it's worse, you know, at least 8 inches on my back, topsoil on the backyard way.
okay.
Is that roadway drainage that you're primarily concerned with? Roadways?
It's tile.
Pardon?
Tile. It comes through a tile.
Oh, okay.
Have you spoke to TDOT about it too?
Pardon me, sir?
Have you spoke to TDOT, Tennessee Department of Transportation?
Well, there's a guy by the name of Barry Knight. You're wasting your time to talk to him. Yes, I've had several TDOT people out. I've got names, dates, and anything that you'd like to see.
Okay.
You know, I again, just speaking
No, I don't
generally
care.
on all this, I do know that when you look at publications that rate our environmental record in Tennessee, not bad. We've done a good job with our general permit in EPA audits. Tennessee is making reasonably good strides in protecting the waters of the state. So, again, where do we stand? We're better than some states and not as good as some. We're somewhere maybe in the middle of all of this. But look at 40 years ago or 50 years ago. Some of these programs only go back 20 or 30 years. The Water Quality Act, 1977, that's not really that long. But of course, conditions and times have changed, so we're growing in maturity. It's an evolving process. It's not perfect. We make many mistakes, as the gentleman might have made with your case. I don't know. But we are moving forward in terms of protecting the waters of the state. So I know that doesn't help you folks here that might be opposed to this project, but that's the best we can give you. So send your comments in, and we'll certainly, yes.
Said he was gonna speak, I would be interested to hear.
I'm gonna pass on that.
Okay, he's
I'd
gonna
like to
pass.
go, yeah, I'd say like, well,
I'd do better than that.
Okay, we appreciate you coming here tonight, and again, we have until July the 13th for written comments, or if you want to send in emails, if you give us your email address, and we have this this listing right here. Yeah, right here.